honey, good morning. How did you sleep? I adopted 32 cats and dogs. Do you want pancakes? I'm gonna make pancakes.
I got into animation since I was very young, actually. I've always had an inspiration for film and filmmaking itself, but animation has kind of led me from drawing and other talents I had, and I'm like, well, I can probably apply this to something more. And I looked at films like Toy Story and the traditional arts, like even from Snow White all the way forward, a lot of Disney, Pixar movies, and I'm like really interested in how to do that, how to be a part of that. I want to be a part of a team that can develop stories in a way that uses technology like computers or the older arts like hand-drawn animation. With my work, I get a lot of inspiration from sources like Disney, DreamWorks, and even older animations. A lot from Disney, of course, because they sort of started not so much animation, but kind of like the idea of animation that we know it back in the 20s, early 30s with Disney. And he did so much incredible work with it that it translated to such great things today through computer animation and just other great things we see. And I'm inspired to kind of tell stories in that way, kind of an art form that was once considered comical, they would do for cartoons. The most difficult thing I find about animation is really none of the technical work. It's all about creating the story. For me, creating the story takes a long time. It can take months, even a year for some stories I want to tell. And once you find that story and you develop it enough, that's where you can go and actually easily develop it further into production. A lot of people think that, going into a computer or drawing is the longest part. And yes, it is, but you can't do any of that, even with film, without a good story. Currently, I'm working on a short animated film called Fernsworth. It's about a fern with glasses that goes on an adventure of sorts to find friendship and love in the great garden of life. In terms of balancing everything else in my life with animating, it's pretty difficult. I manage it somehow. I try to keep animating as a hobby more so, but I do a lot of it for school and work. I do a lot of work with the Heat Network. I'm general manager of that club, so we do a lot of other shows. And also concerning classes and friends and keeping up with just general social life, it's difficult, but it's a hobby, it's a labor of love with animating, and I try to do it as much as I can. Breaking into the animation industry, or even just the film or television industry, is really tough today. And the way to do it, I believe, is always through networking, but it's also through having your own style and your own ability to go further and beyond with what you want to do. If you can show a group of people, a company, that you can do something greater than everyone else can, but at the same time, work with a large group of people to get something done, that makes you a very valuable asset. And if you're a valuable asset, you can go very far in the industry. In 5 years, I hope to be at a company like Disney or DreamWorks or something similar. I really want to contribute to a large group of people, a team of people that want to tell stories with animation. And I just feel like to be a part of such a great group, a very classic group, is very important to me because those groups like Disney have inspired me so much.